Twilight Syndrome. It's an incredibly intriguing series of games that stars young high schoolers as they investigate rumors of paranormal phenomenon. And the rumors are often based on real-life urban legends, and to make things really interesting, the cases that these young people investigate often make them realize things about themselves or involve themselves in some kind of way. And they're incredibly well-told stories that, unlike a lot of other horror games, really nail tension. These games can build up to a confrontation like it's nobody's business, to the point that there is rarely, if any actual supernatural happening appearing on screen. But you feel it, you are right there with the people investigating, and as they get more and more tense, so do you. And that's an incredible feat for games that are just glorified walking simulators. These almost 30-year-old pieces of media do things with storytelling in games that modern games could learn a lot from, and just experiencing them is an event, and an incredibly immersive one. So sit back and relax, and let me explain the plot of Twilight Syndrome, Tansaku-Hen, aka Search. Sometimes after the event of the train station, we catch up with Mika as one of her classmates asks her if their school, Hanashiro High, has 7 mysteries of its own. In Japan, it's believed that supernatural events come in 7, and many locations are home to 7 mysteries or rumors or haunts, if you will, especially high schools. And some of the more famous ones that date back to the Edo period have become tourist destinations of their own. But before Mika can reply, the girl that asks make fun of her for investigating the supernatural or whatever, and then we cut to Mika going to Yukari to ask if she's annoying, and Yukari says no, but also a little, and then makes fun of her for the Rumour investigation thing. Which is weird since she's right there with her during each and every one of them, and always the last one to agree to bail when things get weird. Mika attempts to prove her loyalty to Yukari and win their friendship by telling her that there is a rumor going around school that she's dating a teacher. But Mika defended her to the others because Yukari would never date someone as lame as Mr. Kitamura. Yukari, obviously uncomfortable with this, changes the subject and asks about Hanashiro High's 7 mysteries, and they agree to go investigate them tonight, and they do. The 7 mysteries, or wonders as they are sometimes translated to, are: Number 1. The staircase where a boy supposedly died. Number 2. A cursed bust that allegedly has a human skull inside it and cries blood at night. Number 3. Ghostly voices that can be heard at the library. Number 5. A skeleton in the biology room that apparently moves on its own at night because it's possessed by someone who doesn't know that they are dead. Number 6. A haunted cleaning locker that contains the remains of a black cat that can still be heard making noises at night. Number 7. The ghost of a track and field runner that can be spotted running around the track at night from a distance. And if you've caught that there was no number 4, you are not alone, and Yukari and Chisato ask about it. And apparently the rumor is that the math teacher and the PE teacher are gay and dating each other. That's the 4th haunting at Hanashiro High. Stay classy, Japan, never change. But please do. They set out to investigate the mysteries one by one, and they start with the possessed skeleton since the biology room is right around the corner. Apparently the skeleton itself is the actual remains of the person that now haunts it. The man was executed, and the closer the hour gets to the hour of his execution, the livelier the skeleton gets. But the girls learn what I think we all learn when we get old enough, and that is that the skeleton in biology class isn't real, which makes it even weirder when the skeleton actually does start to move and falls over. Though initially shocked, the cooler heads of the group don't think that the skeleton came to life, as there seems to be a thudding going on beneath them, which probably just shake the skeleton. And yeah, it was just the old boiler in the basement going nuts for whatever reason, which does scare the girls more than any ghosts have so far, as they're afraid it's gonna blow up, so they run upstairs very quickly. The cursed blood-crying bust is close to where they are, so they make their way to the art room to find it. Apparently, the art teacher brought the bust with him from his previous school, and rumor has it that he covers up the nightly blood crying and washes the bust and covers up the evidence for it every morning. The statue doesn't seem to have started to cry yet, so the girls can't quite figure out which one it is, but as they search for it, they hear someone else outside the art room and they hide. It just so happens to be the teacher, and he enters the art room to look for whoever is sneaking around school, but then quickly gives up and hovers around the cabinet for a while before making his exit. In the cabinet there is a bust that seems to fit the description of the one in the Rumour, but when the girls try and get it out to have a look at it, they accidentally drop it and it breaks, and it's revealed that it's not a real bust and it doesn't contain a skull. It's actually just a cheap piggy bank that's full of coins. The shed with the dead cat is nearby, so they head there next. The rumor here is that 2 cats were lovers, and one of them was killed by an evil human and stuffed into the locker that the rumor concerns. They can't quite confirm whether or not the part about the cat lovers is true, but there is indeed a locker here and it won't open. In an unexpected adventure game-esque fashion, they find the key to another locker just outside the shed, and in that locker there is a screwdriver that they can then use to pry open the rumored locker with. And just like all the other rumors so far, there was a tiny nugget of truth to this rumor, as the locker doesn't contain a dead cat but contains cat food, which does smell a little like a cat, I guess, and that probably fueled the rumor to begin with. An actual cat then shows off, and the food is probably there for that, so they feed it and move on. They're pretty close to the staircase where the boy broke his neck, so they begin making their way up to that part of the stairs that contains the fabled 13-step stairs, contrary to the regular 11-step stairs everywhere else in the school. Yukari is apprehensive, but she then begins to make her ascent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And just like so many times before, a tiny bit of the rumor turns out to be true. This staircase does have more steps than the other staircases at the school, but there is no dead boy ghost. Yukari then slips and tumbles down, but unlike the rumor, she doesn't break her neck, and the group begin to question if the 13 steps are there normally and maybe aren't part of some supernatural phenomenon, but maybe just because of like a building thing. And since nothing else happens and they can't presently confirm if the staircase normally has 13 steps, they decide to move on and investigate the voices in the library nearby, and there are definitely voices. More specifically hushed whispers, and they're coming from 2 men, the men in the 4th mystery, that according to the rumor are dating. It sounds like they're breaking up, and like one of them is trying to convince the other, and then more men enter the room, and it's revealed that one teacher isn't trying to coerce the other teacher into doing gay things that he doesn't want to do, but is attempting to convince him to get drunk and play mahjong with him and the others, which is what they do there at night. With only one rumor left to go, they head for the track outside school, and there is definitely something there in the distance. Something is racing around the track and blowing up a big cloud of smoke, and just as they get closer and enter the cloud of smoke, a fucking statue that's just fully alive just races past them. So I guess one of the rumors checked out. It's actually a common trope in Japanese TV shows to dedicate an episode to the 7 mysteries, and it often plays out like this. A gang of high schoolers will get bored during their summer vacation, and they will decide to go investigate the 7 mysteries that everyone that goes to that school is aware of, and they will all turn out to be dots and have perfectly reasonable and logical and earthly explanations, and then the last one will turn out to maybe or outright be supernatural, just like here. This bit of the game seems weird and out of place since we're one investigation off from the end, but when you think about the fact that this game and the next one was supposed to be one collected game, it does make sense to put a slice of life adventure just before the big second act plot begins, which is what is about to happen.